I was snorkeling along the coastline of Maui when I saw an amazing sight. A huge sea turtle swimming directly in front of me. And alongside was this very large trumpet fish. And when the sea turtle would veer to the right or to the left, this trumpet fish followed almost exactly. But trumpet fish eat algae and parasites off of turtles, which is a type of symbiosis called mutualism, because both the turtle and the fish mutually benefit. You know, one gets food, the other gets cleaned off. And the result is this very nice symbiotic relationship. Well, codependent relationships are not symbiotic because they harm rather than benefit. The roles people take on in codependent relationships are often maladaptive or not very helpful. Dr. Stephen Cartman used a triangle like this to map out this drama-intense relationship interactions between people. I call it a drama triangle. This model visually recognizes the connection between personal responsibility and power in conflicts and the not so helpful roles that people play. The term drama is used to refer to someone acting like a victim, not an actual victim suffering from real abuse, I understand, but one acting. So here are the roles that people play. Number one, the victim. This is the one at the bottom of the pyramid. This person is one who says, "Oh, poor me." You know, they believe they're victimized, that they are oppressed, helpless and hopeless, powerless, and maybe even ashamed. The victim seems unable to make decisions, to solve problems, to take pleasure in life or achieve insight. This is the message that they subconsciously communicate. I just can't overcome, so I need help, but the help I want keeps me stuck, which is okay with me, because if I'm stuck, that will keep you here as my rescuer. I refuse the help that would really help me. So that's the victim. Number two is the rescuer, which is the position upper right corner of the pyramid. And this is one that says, "Oh my, let me help you." So this is a classic enabler. The rescuer feels guilty if they don't try to save the day. They're full of love and they send messages of care and compassion and concern, but the negative side is they are often so sentimental that their approach is not very truthful, and it keeps the victim dependent and gives that person permission to fail. The rescuer communicates, again, subconsciously, "I need to be needed. I love helping you stay stuck so that you will always need me." And then the third is the persecutor, the position upper left corner of the pyramid. It's the one who says, "It's all your fault." See, the persecutor is controlling and blaming and critical, oppressive, angry a lot of times, unforgiving and rigid and superior. They communicate subconsciously, "You are so irresponsible. I am so tired. You need to do this and you need to do that." And they're barking out orders to wake the victim up and assume some responsibility. And as the rescuer uses love and sentimentalism, the persecutor uses truth in a controlling and hurtful way. The persecutor needs to be in charge and needs to communicate this: "I need you to listen to me. I need compliance and I need obedience. I need you to change before I can be happy." See, the primary role of the persecutor is really to get the rescuer and the victim back to their spots on the triangle. And if successful, the persecutor will have a lifetime of opportunities to persuade and control. Initially, the drama begins when a person takes on the role of a victim. Again, hear me out. I'm talking about people who act like a victim, not real victimhood. There are true victims around us, people who have been abused and hurt and mistreated. And there's a great need to come alongside people and to assist and to help, but not to the degree where it helps keep a victim a victim. People are not defined by what they do or by what was done to them. And so people need to be encouraged to grieve through their hurts so that they can choose to be a victim no longer. But the person who insists on maintaining the role of victim has the need to enlist other players in the drama. Once a rescuer is enlisted, all players take on their roles of their own that are not static. For example, the victim might turn on the rescuer and become a persecutor, in which the rescuer may switch to persecuting themselves as well. So what are the motivations for acting this drama out? Each of the roles played can get their unspoken psychological wishes and needs met in a manner that they believe are justified without having to acknowledge the broader dysfunction or potential harmful effects. They all act upon their own selfish needs rather than acting in a genuinely responsible manner. So the motivations of the rescuer, for instance, are maybe probably the least obvious, but are very complex. On the surface, that person can appear to make great efforts to resolve the problem, yet at the same time have a hidden motive to be unsuccessful, or at least resolve the issue in a way that benefits him. For example, he may get a self-esteem boost and receive respected rescue status, or derive enjoyment by having someone depend on him and trust him. The rescuer can act in a way that ostensibly seems to be helpful, but on a deeper level takes advantage of the victim in order to continue getting his payoff. The rescuer keeps the victim dependent, and they keep him dependent by continuing to rescue. Well, the motivation for the persecutor is to maintain a sense of superiority and a sense of control. Their shame is directed at other people's flaws. They feel obliged to point a finger at someone else so they can maintain their position of power and authority. And if the truth were known, the persecutor is just as guilty as anyone else, but has a hard time admitting it. The motivations for the victim is that they get their needs met by having someone else rescue them. The rescuer takes care of the victims. It seems to be this symbiotic relationship. See, most drama participants tend to have a primary role, either the victim, rescuer, or persecutor. And when they enter the drama triangle, however, once there, they actually rotate around and they assume any of the positions at any given time. So here's an example. I'm going to use Tim as an example and Sue, his wife. So Tim is a typical man. Sue, his wife, is usually the rescuer, and Tim is usually the victim. But observe how they move around the triangle in their drama as Tim gets frustrated and changes into a persecutor. And once they get through, they will most often settle back into their usual roles of victim-rescuer. So here's an example with Sue and Tim. Sue begins the conversation by asking Tim, "How was your day today?" Tim, he says, "It was terrible. Did you pick up my laundry today?" Sue says, "No, I forgot, but I'll pick it up first thing tomorrow." And Tim says, "Well, I can't believe you didn't pick up my laundry today. I have such an important meeting tomorrow. I need a fresh shirt." Sue, being the rescuer, says, "I'm so sorry, but Tim Jr. fell today at school, and I had to take him to the ER to see if anything was broken." See, this is where roles typically change because there's not enough room for two victims in the same triangle. So Tim jumps ship. He goes to the persecutor. He says, "I told you before how important this meeting is. Besides, why can't the school take care of things? Don't they have a nurse on site?" Sue says, yeah, but they don't have x-ray equipment to determine if anything's broken or not. It's such a busy day, and I was very concerned for Timmy. Tim says, we ought to take him out of that school. I mean, if they don't have enough supervision to watch kids while they're playing to prevent accidents like this, we just need to find another school. Now, Sue changes game a little bit. Wait a minute. It was an accident. It was no one's fault. You're being unreasonable. I'm sick and tired of taking the blame. And by the way, why don't you pick up your own laundry if it's that important to you? I was busy taking care of Timmy. And I'm not apologizing for any of that. Now here's the switcheroo again. See, there can be two persecutors for a while until finally someone retreats back to a victim. So Tim starts his way back. So Tim says, well, I had a hard day at work, which seems to be every day these days, working 50 to 60 hours a week, having to come home and continue working, mowing the grass, trimming the grass. I got to clean out the gutters now. It seems to never end. Now Sue is calming down a bit and ready maybe to retreat back to the rescuer. But she says, well, I don't like it when you insinuate that I'm not doing enough around here. You're insensitive and mean sometimes. See, Sue wants to make sure Tim settles back into the victim role. So Tim does, and he says, well, I think I'm just under a lot of pressure at work, and I'm feeling sick most days. I'm not sure how long I can last at this pace. Now Sue is concerned that Tim's job is in jeopardy, right? So she says, well, I've noticed that you come home drained and overwhelmed a lot. Here, why don't you sit down and let me bring you your supper, and maybe I can mow the grass. And I'll leave early in the morning to go get your shirt. Tim says, life is hard these days. I think I need some time off, but my boss would never give it to me. So Sue continues, we'll figure it out. Maybe I could get a part-time job that might help us get through the financial stress that we're under. You see, Sue, the rescuer, works overtime trying to take care of Tim. Rescuers often feel overwhelmed, become exhausted. People who habitually manage their conflict with this kind of drama often get stuck in it. The one role that keeps everything balanced in this triangle is the rescuer. If that person were to back out, the whole triangle would fall apart. You see, the victim is then forced to do one of two things. One, find another rescuer, or two, become a little more responsible. I want you to think about some of your relationships and determine the role that you might play in their lives.